Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I want to talk about a subject that I don't think has ever been dealt with that I know of, and it is radiation from a nuclear weapon, radiation falling on your firewood pile. It's going to cause a problem because your firewood pile is going to be contaminated. So, in the event after one and you survive, there is going to be some problems with the sun. There'll be a lot of stuff in the air. There'll be a lot of cooling effect on the earth. It will be a short time period, but it's still going to affect you. So if something happens and it's wintertime or right going into winter, you normally burn firewood. And remember, after a nuclear war, even a limited strike would probably have no power grid. So you're going to need your firewood to stay warm, and you'll need it probably more because it's going to be colder outside. So if this is stacked up here, and I normally stack this up with a piece of heavy duty plastic on it, you've seen them, it's still going to be totally contaminated. Dust is going to fall, and look at this. Dust is going to get into all these cracks. You can't use it. You can't take this in the house because just gathering it like this, putting it in a wheelbarrow or carrying it in the house, stuff's going to fall off. I'm going to contaminate my house. So we have a problem. Normally, you want this open to the elements to dry. Even a woodshed just covered with open sides, that's really good to let that wood dry. So I am not ready for this situation. I don't have a solution. I need a solution, but I have other problems right now. You might say, Dave, I don't have a wood stove. I don't heat with wood. I don't need wood. You will need wood. There will be no power grid, so your stove is not going to work. Yes, some of you have propane, and that will definitely be very helpful not to have to use wood at first. So this stuff will decontaminate it on its own. The particles will lose will lose some potency, so it won't be as dangerous. But what are we going to do with wood? Suggestions: if you do have some wood, put it here, and then after it dries, put it in another place that's totally sealed off, like a garage. But then you have the problems with, bugs from the wood getting into that building, so you have to be careful that way. If you knew you were going to have an exchange with nuclear weapons, you could take some of your very dry wood and put it where you normally would. Even if it's in the summertime, put it in your basement. Worst case, put it in your house. If you are building a bunker or a shelter in your house with just the stuff in your house, and I'll explain that in another video, this wood would be helpful. It's mass. You could use it inside the house on a wall to cut down the radiation that would be coming through. But this is a problem. The amount of work it takes to do all this after you leave your shelter or your bunker that you've made in your house, you're not going to have time to cut this. Plus, cutting wood is going to expose you to more stuff. You want to stay as far away from anything that will expose you over time. So you really need to let this stuff dry. Then you need to put it in a shed that's totally sealed. Let's say worst case is happening. I would take some of this, and if you got time and you got a couple vehicles with trunks, fill your trunk. You know you're not going to use your vehicle. Fill your whole trunk. If you got some totes, throw it in your totes. Best case is take it in the house with you in totes and use it for barrier material to stop radioactivity. If you can't do that, use a tarp. You're going to have to, though, seal that tarp totally in the bottom. Your goal is not to let the dust that will fall after it goes up in the mushroom cloud and come down wherever it comes down. You don't want that dust on here because you want to be able to use this wood. So, yeah, you're probably saying, Dave, you've lost it. No, I'm trying to educate you. People have not thought about this. And you might do everything else right, but if you don't get this right, it could definitely cause you some harm. It could cause you to get sick. It could cause your death. So have a plan if you burn wood. Also have a plan to have something to cook your food with. You're not going to have the grid. Thanks for watching.